Hi, in this segment, we are going to discuss articles. In English language, the word article has many meanings. It means a particular thing, a piece of writing, a separate clause in an agreement, etc. But in English grammar, adjectives like a or an and the are usually called articles. An adjective is a word that describes a noun or pronoun. The articles a or an or the usually describe a noun. I hope that you would recollect noun as a word that refers to a person, place, thing, event, substance, or quality. Articles are really demonstrative adjectives because they point out which persons or things are meant. There are only three articles in English. They are a, an, and the. There are two types of articles in English: definite article and indefinite article. The is called the definite article because it's used when we speak of some particular person or thing. When we use the, we point out a specific individual or thing, not any general ones. A or an is called indefinite article because it does not point out any particular or definite person or thing. It can be anyone or anything. When indefinite articles are placed before nouns, they get a sense of generality. In the first sentence, there are two articles, a and an. If a word starts with the vowel sound, we use an instead of a. In the first sentence, speaker does not give any stress or importance on words like boy and ass. The speaker is telling us about some boy who was riding on some ass. So, indefinite articles a and an are used before those words respectively. In the second example, there are two sentences. In both sentences, we can see definite article the. Why? These sentences clearly express the stress or importance given to the nouns boy and ass by the speaker of the sentence. The speaker is telling us about a particular boy and a particular ass in these sentences. These examples illustrate where and how articles must be used. Let us look into some important points regarding the usage of articles. As a general rule, a common noun in the singular number must have an article before it. A common noun is the name of a group of similar things such as table or book, and not of a single person, place, or thing. Look at the examples. We can see articles a, an, and the before the nouns table and apple because they are singular in number. A common noun in the singular number does not have an article before it when it is used in a general sense. In the example sentence, the word man stands for or represents all men. The sentence expresses a generality, so article is not needed before the noun man. Common nouns in the plural number do not need the definite article the placed before them. In the given example, the underlined word birds is plural. Therefore, we need not say the birds in this sentence. But look at the exception. Here, two plural nouns, namely children and sweets, are preceded by the definite article the. Why? When we speak of particular persons or things, that we have already mentioned before or that are known to us, we use the definite article the. Please note, when we speak of a person or thing for the first time, we generally use the indefinite article a or an, but when we speak of the same person or thing a second time, we use the definite article the. Traditionally, article A is used before a countable noun or adjective that begins with a consonant letter. Look at the first example. The underlined letters are consonants. So these words precede article A. A is also used before vowels having consonant sounds. This can be seen in example 2. Here the underlined letters in the words are vowels, but they have consonant sounds in the words. In Union and European, the U and E letters have ya sound, which is the sound of the consonant Y. In the word one, the letter O has the sound of the consonant V. So article A is used before these words. Hence, sound of a letter is the denominator of fixing the right article before a word. Traditionally, article an is used before a singular countable noun or adjective that begins with a vowel. There are 5 vowels in English, namely A, E, I, O, U. Words that starts with these vowels are preceded by article an. Look at the first example. All words have vowels as their first letter, so an is used before them. In example 2, we can see words starting with a consonant H, but in these words, letter H is silent. In both these words, we get the sound of vowel A. That's why article an is used before them. Words beginning with a silent H take article an before them. So article is determined by the sound of the beginning letter rather than the letter itself. Let us see some of the other instances where we can use a or an. A or an is used before names of species or for generalization. This is clear from the first sentence in the slide. Cow is a species and domestic animal is a generalization. Hence, a is used before them. When we make a reference to a particular noun for the first time, we must place a or an before that noun. See the second sentence. From that sentence, it's quite clear that the speaker refers to the strange woman for the first time because we can see the article a before it. In the third sentence, people's number is mentioned. Before numerical expressions, a or an must be used. So we can see article a before a lot of people, which express number. In this context, we should remember that before expressions of price, speed, and ratio, articles a or an must be used. Example, rupees 5 a kilogram. Now in the fourth sentence, a is used with a person's name if the person is perhaps unknown to the person addressed. The sentence evidently expresses this fact. Hence, a Mr. Smith. Indefinite article must not be used before uncountable nouns. Some uncountable nouns are given in the slide. Can we count it? Can we say one furniture, two furniture like that? No. That's why in the example, indefinite article is missing. We cannot say a good advice or an advice. Now abstract nouns. What is an abstract noun? It is the name of something which we can neither see nor touch, but which we can only think of. See the example sentence: beauty and truth are abstract nouns. And the rule is abstract nouns do not take either a or an before them. In the same way, plural words also do not need indefinite article before them. We cannot see an indefinite article before the words nuclear weapons. Now let us learn about definite article the. When we refer to some particular person or thing, the is used. See the first two examples. The boys mentioned in the first sentence are particular ones. They are not any boys, but boys belong to a particular school. So they are special. Hence, definite article the is required. The club in the second sentence is a particular one. So, definite article the is used before them. Hence, the boys and club have a distinctive nature. They are not used in general sense. In the third sentence, the dog represents a whole class. When a singular noun indicates a whole class, it is preceded by the. When a noun is made definite by the addition of a phrase or a clause, definite article the must be used before that noun. In the fourth sentence, the noun place is followed by a clause where I met her. This clause makes the noun more definite and gives clarity to the word place. So, place is preceded by the. Now, the fifth sentence. Here there is no noun, but we can see two adjectives, rich and poor. When we closely observe these words, we understand that they act as nouns. Rich and poor actually act as rich people and poor people. That means if an adjective is used as a noun, it will take the before it. Let us look into some more rules regarding the use of definite article the. See the first example. There are two sentences. In the second sentence, definite article the is used at three places. Why? Because the nouns that follows article the are already mentioned in the first sentence. So, when a noun is repeated, the is placed before it. In the second example, the noun kitchen is preceded by the. Here the noun kitchen is one of its kind in a given situation. There is only one kitchen and the speaker is referring to that kitchen. It is the kitchen where the mother is. In such cases, the must come before the noun. Look at the examples. If the name of the country is preceded by the word kingdom, republic, or federation, the must be used before it. Look at example 1. The names of certain books, especially holy ones, take article the before them. See example 2. The must be placed before the names of public building, institutions, associations, etc. Example 3 shows this. When we refer to people of a country, the must be used. See example 4. Similarly, we will say the Indians, the Dutch, the Australians, etc. These also used before the names of newspapers and magazines. Example 5 shows this. Here are some more rules about definite article the. The must be used before ordinal numbers. See example 1. Example 2 shows that the is necessary before superlatives. They must be placed before a proper noun when it is qualified by an adjective or by a phrase. Look at example 3, the immortal Shakespeare. Here, Shakespeare is a proper noun. This noun is qualified by the adjective immortal. So, the is placed before immortal. Common nouns of which there is only one always take the before them. Note the example 4 given in the slide. We studied that if a common noun is used in a general sense, it does not take an article before it. But in this sentence, common nouns sun and moon are special. They are one of their kind. As they are unique to us, the is used before them. The must be used before the names of ships and trains as given in example 5. The is also necessary before the names of musical instruments. Example 6 shows this. Now let us learn where we should not use articles. This is very important because one of the grammatical mistakes in English is not using articles where they are necessary and using articles where they are not at all necessary. Look at the sentences given in the slide. Rule number 1. Do not use an article before common nouns which are used in general sense. That's why no article is used before the word man in the first sentence. In this sentence, the word man represents the whole humanity. Rule number 2. No article before proper noun. Proper noun, as you know, is the name of a particular person, place, or object that's spelled with a capital letter. In the second sentence, the words Delhi and India are proper nouns. We should not use articles before proper nouns. So it's an article-free sentence. In the third sentence, the word honesty is an abstract noun. The third rule is no article should be used before an abstract noun. Now the fourth sentence. Here the underlined word is gold. It's a natural noun. Natural nouns are things we get from nature. They are also called material nouns. Names of all metals and minerals belong to this category. As per the rule, no article is necessary before natural nouns. Let us learn some more rules regarding the omission of articles. No article is used before the names of streets. See the first sentence in the slide. In the second sentence, there is no article before breakfast because article is not to be used before names of meal. Like that, article is not necessary before the names of games. See example 3. Sentence 4 tells us about English language. Before the names of languages, article should not be used. No article is used before the word home when it is not preceded by a descriptive word. In the fifth sentence, the word home is preceded by a preposition at. So, no article is used before home. In the final sentence, an institution's name, R.P. Singh College, is mentioned. And the rule is that no article is needed before the institution named after person or places. Do you know why articles are important in English? Because they can change the meaning of a sentence. What's the difference between few and a few? See the first two examples. No article is there before the beginning of the first example, whereas we can see article A before the beginning of the second sentence. What do they mean? When A is placed before the word few, it changes the meaning. Few means only a small number when more might have been expected. A few means a small number when none might have been expected. So when a person says few pupils gave the right answer, evidently he had hoped for more pupils to give the right answer. But when he says a few pupils gave the right answer, it means that all of them did not give the wrong answer contrary to the expectation of the speaker. In the first sentence, the speaker is disappointed, so it has a negative tone, while in the second sentence, the speaker is satisfied and hence it is positive. There is a similar difference between a little and a little. When we say we have little time to spare, we mean that we do not have so much time we should like to spare. But when we say we have a little time to spare, we mean that we are not so short of time. In this session, we have studied about the two different types of articles, namely definite and indefinite articles. Now we know the uses of a, an, and the. We also learn where and when these articles must be used. We familiarized where we should omit these articles. Remember, omission and inclusion of articles at the correct places is very important. The rules regarding these must be studied well. Otherwise, we may make grammatical mistakes and end up in miscommunication. Good luck. Thank you.